I want to prove the given system is memoryless or not memoryless. I don't know whether the given system is memoryless or not memoryless. So let me write the formula of memoryless. If you people have written in your rough notebook, can anybody share me the formula for memoryless? What is the formula we have written? We have written h of k is equal to, we have written, it is a scalar product, scalar multiplied with delta of k. So delta of k represents, I will be having the output only at the origin. If I have the output only at the origin, then I can say the system is memoryless. Now you see the given question. Do you have the output only at the origin? Can anybody tell me? Do you have the output only at the origin?
No, ma'am.
No. So can I say now, since this condition called h of k equal to c multiplied with delta of k is not satisfied. See here, I am writing bar here. It is not satisfied. If it is not satisfied, then I can conclude that the given system is not memoryless. Okay. And stability will be always very easy, because if input is bounded, output will be bounded always. If you see the expression, input is bounded only, so output is also bounded. I had given enough clues in the previous module when it will be unbounded. So unbounded means you should not have anything with x power something, powers you should not have. So here, this row, I can say the row value is, if the row value is limited, then my output is also limited. So based on this row only. So row value should be limited. I can say if the row value is bounded, definitely my output will be bounded. So maximum 90% you get the system with stable only. Very rare cases you will get the system unstable. Okay. So I should write the condition of stability using the formula only, because I have derived the formula for stability. The formula, what the formula says, summation k equal to minus infinity to plus infinity, magnitude of h of k less than infinity. That is the formula I have derived under stability. So I have to now apply h of k value from this question. H of k value from the question, my h of n is equal to rho power n, rho power n u of n, rho power n u of n. So you know the importance of u of n. U of n is value 1 from 0 to infinity. So I will just neglect it when I substitute here in this equation. So it is summation, since it is u of n, so I am just changing the limits from minus infinity to plus infinity as 0 to infinity. So in place of h of k within the magnitude, I have to substitute the row of n as row of k, because n is replaced as k here. So row of k. So if this formula is less than infinity, definitely this substituted value is also less than infinity. So I can conclude that the given system is stable. And along with this, I have to write one more thing. My row value should be bounded. So because this row is the main parameter which decides whether it will be less than infinity or it will be greater than infinity. So if this row power k, it should be less than infinity, means the value of row should be very, very small. So I am writing the condition, this will be satisfied only when the row, magnitude of row is less than 1. That means the magnitude of row can be 0 0.1, 0 0.2, like that. It will be in 0 decimal, um, such that if it is smaller values, so smaller values power any value of k will not give me the infinite values of answers. So with this, we complete this problem. So successfully, I analyzed causality, memoryless, and stability based on the equation in terms of impulse response. So now I told in this module, you have a new property along with invertibility. This invertibility you have already studied in previous module in terms of output, but here we are going to study the inverse system in terms of impulse response here. And along with that, I am going to discuss the deconvolution. Already I have told what is the meaning of deconvolution. Deconvolution is nothing but it is a reciprocal of convolution. So now I am going to take two systems together connected in cascade. So listen here. I have it. X of t is the input signal. which is given to the first system, LTI system, having an impulse response h of t, it gives me the output y of t. This y of t, I am passing it to the one more system having the impulse response, which is the inverse of the impulse response of the first system. So it is the inverse. So you know why we want inverse impulse response, because h into h inverse is equal to 1. If this both are equal to 1, then definitely my input will be equal to output. So my aim under this topic is I want to retrieve my signal x of t back from the output of the first system. My output of the first system is y of t. How did I get y of t? Y of t I got with the help of convolution. The convolution is x of t convolution with x of t convolution with h of t. X of t convolution with h of t. So now I want my signal x of t which is convoluted with h of t back. So how to get that back? I have to pass that y of t to the system having the inverse impulse response. So such that I will get my output as x of t, which is the supplied signal at the input side. So that is the main concept behind the inverse system or deconvolution. So to get your input signal back, we are performing deconvolution. We are recovering the signal. So you have a definition here, the process of recovering x of t from h of t into x of t. So your y of t is equal to x of t into h of t. So I am going to recover my x of t from this term, x of t from this convolution, That's why it is called as deconvolution. So who will perform this deconvolution work? That is my next question. So the inverse system will perform the deconvolution work. That's why the title is inverse system and deconvolution. So this system is called as an inverse system because it is having inverse impulse response. So this inverse system performs the deconvolution such that I am getting my output as x of t, which is same as the input. So that is the concept behind this property. And even in this module, you may get the question, theory question, state the, list the properties of LTI system in terms of impulse response. You should see the word in terms of. So from the above figure, so I know x of t will be convolved with h of t convolution with h inverse of t. So you know h of t convolution with h inverse of t, this value becomes 1. So x of t convoluted with 1 becomes x of t only. So here I need to concentrate because I want to explain any property in this module with impulse response. So I'm going to separately write this term. Okay, h of t convolution with h inverse of t. So you can see the screen. So that will be equal to, I said it is 1, but in signals and systems we cannot represent by 1 because we have some terminology to represent 1. The terminology to represent 1 is delta. Delta is the function to represent 1. So this formula you have to remember, because in the problem if they ask you to find whether the system is invertible or not, you have to use this formula, h of t convolution with h inverse of t. You have to use it. If you perform the convolution, you should get the output as 1. That means delta of t. Then you can say the system is invertible. So similarly, I should write for the discrete time systems. This is the formula for the discrete time systems. So it is delta of n. So we have discussed 4 properties. The last property is step response. Step response is the unique property which is not discussed for the systems in the previous module. So this property we are discussing only in this module. So you know what is step response? I have a system here. I have a system. I am just showing the system here. I have an input here. This is my input and this is my output. And here is my output. Can anybody tell me? I have discussed enough about response. Can anyone tell me what is the meaning of response? So before starting the definition, let me explain the usage of step input signals. So step input signals are used to characterize the response of the LTI system. It is used to characterize the response of the LTI system. Um, the meaning is I can produce the output with respect to the input signal, which is unit step, so that I can analyze the LTI system. So if we want to analyze any system, we have to pass the reference signal to the system. That reference signal in signals and systems is the step input signal or unit step signal. Unit step signal is the reference signal which will help us to analyze the system, like how it is working, what are all the possibilities of performing the operation, like the system can perform convolution operation, system can perform filtering operation. So like that the system can perform n number of operations. All those things I want to analyze it. To analyze that, I want some reference input signal. That reference input signal is step input signal or unit step signal. So in simple words, they have given as the step response signals are used to characterize the response of the LTI system to the sudden changes in the input. So now we go to the definition, or we just discuss what is step response. Step response is defined as the output due to the unit step input signal. So now I want to write the equation here under this topic. So the equation is, so you know very well, I have a system here. So the system impulse response remains same, but the changes are, instead of x of n, I'm going to use s of n as the input because it is step input. Um, no, I want the output as step output. So I will take s of n as the output and unit step signal. So I will take u of n as the input. So unit step signal is your input, impulse response is h of n, and step response is represented as s of n instead of y of n. So using this block diagram, I can write my output s of n, which is equal to h of n convolution with u of n. So I am repeatedly telling impulse response we should not disturb, because we are going to derive the formula based on the impulse response. So I will just expand this convolution formula, summation k equal to minus infinity to plus infinity, h of k multiplied with u of n minus k. And you know the unit step signal will be equal to 1. Since it is u of n minus k, I can say the amplitude will be 1 when the range. So it is, I will just show you here. If it is u of n, you will start from the origin. U of n means you will start from the origin. Okay. So from 0 to infinity, I can say the amplitude is 1. But here it is u of n minus k. So this k can be any number. So I can write minus k means the shifting will be at the right hand side. So let me take this k position here. So if I take k position here, I can say I will be having the samples starting from k. I will not be having samples at 0 and before to k. So I hope you follow this. So that only we have given here. U of n minus k is equal to 0. So from the range 0 to k, it will be equal to 1 for the higher values. So now I want to finally conclude the formula to find out the step response. So if that is the condition, then this step signal is always 1. So I can compress this signal as this equation. I can compress it as S of n is equal to summation k equal to minus infinity to plus infinity h of k. So in the problem, if they ask you to find out the step response, so you have to use this formula. You have to expand the summation for h of k. That's it. So the same formula, you can write it for the continuous time signal. So continuous time signal, you know what changes you have to do. So it is from minus infinity to, it is actually plus infinity, okay? Minus infinity to plus infinity, h of tau beta. So now I want to show you the relation between uh, step response and the impulse response. I want you to see this equation. The left hand side we have step response. The right hand side we have the impulse response. If you want impulse response, what is the operation you will do? Can you guess and tell me? I want, this is a mathematical concept. If I want the impulse response, then what is the operation we have to perform? If my question is clear, Harshita,
Yes, ma'am.
I think my question is very much clear. See, I have related left hand side. Output is step response and the input is impulse response. Now I want to swap it. I want my output as the impulse response and I want the input as step input, step response. So how to do that? How to change that? It is a mathematical operation. Here it is an integral. If I want to remove the integral, I want to remove the integral, then only I can retrieve my h of tau back. So how to remove this integration?
Differentiation, ma'am.
Differentiation. That only I'm asking from that time. So I have to perform differentiation on both the sides. Listen here. If I perform the differentiation on both the sides, you can see the integration and differentiation is the right hand side will be cancelled. If the integration is cancelled, then I will be having only h of tau at the right hand side, and the left hand side is differentiation of the signal s of t. So you can see here I am highlighting in the screen. I can write my impulse response in terms of step response like this. So impulse response is equal to differentiation of the step response. And this equation, what it says, this equation says the step response in terms of impulse response. Please understand the difference between the both. So similarly, I want to write, you can see here in this equation, your step response is in terms of impulse response. I want to write this impulse response in terms of step response. So how to write it? What is the opposite of summation? I have to perform the
Subtraction.
subtraction. Very good. Subtraction. So can I write now my impulse response in terms of step response? So it is S of n. So the difference between the step responses, S of n minus S of n minus 1. So this is the relation. So why S of n I have taken first? Because it is having the highest magnitude, then minus of S of n minus 1. So shifted version of S of n. So in this way, you can find the impulse response in terms of step response, and this standard formula says step response in terms of impulse response. So all the four formulas you should know. Okay. So I will show you that equation which is written in the screen. So I have shown you here h of n is equal to s of n minus s of n minus 1. So with this, I have successfully completed the theory part of the properties. of LTI system in terms of impulse response. That is very, very important. So I want to solve the problem. This is taken from the prescribed book. I think you can solve these problems in your notebook. Later, you can write the theory part in your notebook. Just start this problem. This problem is quite easy. The impulse response of the RC circuit is h of t is equal to 1 by RC e power minus t by RC u of t. Find the step response of the circuit. It is very easy. Find the step response of the circuit. So let me write the formula of step response. So S of t is equal to integral minus infinity to infinity h of t, it is h of originally h of tau d tau. This was the formula we have discussed. So they are asking the step response. So S of t is at the left hand side, we know very well it is equal to the right hand side in terms of h of tau. So now what I want to do is the question is having a u of t expression. So the lower limit will be changed. The lower limit will be changed as 0, and also we will take the integration with respect to only t. Please remember, we will not go to the infinite range. So originally u of t means it should be from 0 to infinity, and we take the highest limit as t only. So now I can just substitute the h of tau here. H of tau is 1 by RC into e power minus of tau divided by RC into d tau. You know how to perform the integration. 1 by RC, you can move it outside. So you can move 1 by RC outside. Integration of e power minus tau by RC. So if you do the integration, can you people try and get me the answer? Integration of e power minus tau by RC. I'm doing the integration with respect to tau. It is minus 1 by RC. And the limits are 0 to t. So when you rearrange the term, RC gets cancelled. So you'll be having one minus outside. And inside, if I substitute the limit, it is e power minus t by RC minus of e power 0 is 1. So my final answer is 1 minus e power minus t by RC. Have you people got this answer?